You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right? I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence!
Evidence is everything, right, Donald? And you must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom. Yes, as I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence. But... I've known Fulbright here for a year now. And all this time, he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. Prosecutor Blackwell! This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me, he actually became quite a nuisance, really. Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me? Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that? Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you! Such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's been cleared up, and Miss Sykes will go free as well. Mr. Wright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... God, what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? Is he going to get away just like that? This is where Athena chimes in and talks about the discord of a complete lack of emotions. Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that, I'm off! Objection! Oh, hold it. Who's objecting now? Oh, it must be... Oh. An unvoiced hold it. The defense... No, wait, not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet, and would like to see this trial continue. What? But I was just about to declare you innocent of all charges. It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you could scooch over? Athena, what are you doing? Hope we don't get held in contempt of court. This isn't a real court. This isn't an official court. I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you? Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions? I have yet to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss. The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all. What? Does that mean... We may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie. That's it. With your special ability, we might just be able to stop him. Your Honor, the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations. Yes? Well, even before all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow. If he doesn't get counseling right away, who knows what might happen to him? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting? Fulbright. I think you'd better have that counseling. Not you too! You've been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator, and your family has been taken hostage. I fear that you might have finally lost it. But I thought you believed me!
Silence!
Oh, how you amuse me so! What's going on here? That was an excellent bit of That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation now, Simon. I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here? Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright. Because he knew I noticed that there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in his response. So he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two were working together just now? Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. You got it. Time to check out the instant replay. Would you, mon ami? Let's do this. Did we ever get to say bye-bye to Widget last time? Well, we certainly will this time. Even with all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all? It's just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom Psych profile. Detective Fulbright, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. Hey, what's going on? Wait, hold it! What do you think you're doing, Detective? Me? I'm not doing anything. He's trying to hack into the Mood Matrix program. I can't do anything with it like this. Gah! Fancy device you have there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you. Sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackwell. There. Now that you can't hack me anymore, I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you've wounded me very deeply with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting an overwhelmingly happy reading. Huh? He's literally crying us a river over there. Oops. My mistake. How about this? Yes! Now he's angry all of a sudden? What's he trying to pull? Like as not, it would appear our friend is not completely without emotion. It's just as it says in Dr. Sykes' profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right? Precisely. Which leads me to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's most likely because he is controlling his emotions. Very good, Prosecutor Blackwell. You are correct. It's the result of my daily training. A very important skill for us undercover investigators, you know. More like for us spies. Seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute. I think I know. I sense there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, Detective. A feeling I'm trying to hide? That's a good one. You're the ones who have been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I was just trying to show you the range of deep emotions I truly possess. Then you have no objections to me analyzing you. Right? No. Analyze away. But I will state it again. I am not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect. So you're about to see what an undercover agent can really do. Oh my god. What the fuck is going on? So the only stable one there is his sadness. Alright. I found it! I found the one emotion you're truly feeling. What? Hidden in the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. Did that say disappeared or dissipated? Disappeared. When you talked about the moon rock, you felt a fear that wouldn't fade. Fear, huh? A fear that a man with hardly any emotions feels, It was a response to that moon rock. Detective Fulbright, I presume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because you lost it. You lost the precious moon rock you went to so much trouble to get, didn't you? And that frustration has turned into fear in your heart. Oh, it's so frustrating. I can't stand it. I'm not so sure a man who could make that 20-foot leap would feel fear about that. I guess you're right. Didn't the topic of what a spy might fear the most come up in our discussions earlier? Of course. That's it. Of course. That's it. A little too casual on the first read. Assassins. Orange text. Assassins. Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you would feel afraid. You are afraid that the moon rock will somehow reveal your identity. If his identity were revealed, he would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid. Me? Afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So, there really is something about the moon rock that would reveal his identity? Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, but more like he had to take it with him? Because there was something on it that would reveal his true identity. Stop him! Where do you think you're going? Get him, Taka! Me? I'm not going anywhere. Is it just me, or was he going to use that weird watch thing to try and get away? How many more of those toys does he have? And where can I get myself some? Detective Fulbright, you will answer honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock? In justice, we trust! Not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid? Don't make me laugh. Ugh, what was that just now? But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing a case from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. What a duo, both equipped with slashing weapons. It's all just a waste of time. All your efforts and All your efforts at analysis serve no purpose. Now, in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. In an era where evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof, but I still say that examining a person's heart I still say that examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Look with your special eyes. Listen to the voices of the hearts of the people in the gallery. Is it time for anime again? All I hear is distrust? As you can see, the people are on my side. All because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. But it's not like I use analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Uh-oh. He's got Athena doubting herself. Miss Sykes' analytical psychology has breathed new life into the courtroom. It has freed the hearts of many witnesses, and has been the key in getting to the truth. What nonsense! Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock. I see. Very well. I will give the opinion of this court. In a trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidence is. But Your Honor... There, you see? Nobody believes you and your trumped up charges. However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analyses can contribute to making the truth clear. I have seen her do this firsthand several times already. Surely you jest. So, does this mean you will accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor? Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I believe there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on this matter. Then, that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you will tell the court the reason for your fear. Yeah, I'm stumbling, I'm stuttering. Analytical psychology? My fears? Fine. I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can't be considered evidence. Present rock. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice. And there you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock? Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any 2-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell? We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts. Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the dark age of the law. And it is also our burden to cut away the foul specter that we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. Trust, understanding, fragile ideals of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing. That's better. He gave a significant pause there, so I should too. Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies, always. Yo, the fade to black cross-examination? Or fade from black. Not at all. You can't think of a single reason that the Phantom might be afraid of the Rock? I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me, with my wealth of emotions, be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting blown big. I'm willing to bet that the moon rock has something to do with his identity. But what? Maybe the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock? But fingerprints can be wiped off. Then maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drooled on it and left his DNA. We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Huh? Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. Oh right, he got stabbed. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. Justice! Let's see, blood sample. Oh, it's also here. Let's try presenting this, just, you know, throwing it out there.
Objection!
Damn. No! See ya. And welcome one infraction. Give me that penalty. Let's read a little bit more first. I'm not super confident in the evidence yet. It only reminded you of the Phantom? Don't make me laugh, you are the Phantom. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Or did you forget? I was forced to testify over a silly thing like feelings. Those tactics won't work up from here on out. You'll need real evidence. You need real evidence. I hate to admit, but he's right.
Hold it!
Your family? Like, who in your family specifically? Oh, I don't know. Like, maybe my lover, for example. For example? Maybe? We need a more concrete answer than that. Maybe my mother? My son? Or my daughter? Maybe it was all of them! I'm so sad and worried! I miss them so much! God, he's obviously lying. Look how upset I am. Is it any wonder I followed the Phantom's orders?
Hold it!
And how afraid are you exactly? I'm so scared I start to shake even when I see the moon in the sky. You shake when you see Miss Sykes' earring? Well, to be honest, since the very first time I met Miss Sykes, I felt more than a little frightened of her. I guess some people just inspire that much fear in others. Mr. Wright, you were thinking something mean-spirited and rude, weren't you? You were thinking something mean-spirited and rude, weren't you? Of course not. Must beef up the mind-reading defenses. Now do you understand? Oh, my voice is starting to... The very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock proves that I'm on the side of justice. After all that you've done, how dare you speak the word justice? In justice we trust. I'll say it as much as I want, and with absolute confidence. Whatever I say is just, is just. That's just how it works in this dark age of the law. You won't get the best of me with that twisted argument of his. I'll find a way to get him right where I want him. Detective Fulbright, or rather the Phantom, feels fear in regards to the moon rock. It probably has something to do with being afraid of that his true identity will be revealed. Right. So that's why the Phantom had to take the moon rock with him 7 years ago. In that case, if we had something to show the real cause of Fulbright's fear, just might be able to expose his true identity. I mean, let's go with this, because it now has the line about saying it was also used to stab his hand.
Objection!
Detective Fulbright. Still gravelly, still gross. Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course! That's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Terran. That's right. And the exact same type of knife Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. The victim's hand. Whoops. No. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. And shortly after, you said you wanted to repair your mom. Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock. He was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean, if we ran the analysis now, we know who the Phantom is? Yes, I suppose so. But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course. Nah? You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me! What the court needs is a bully-free zone. Ah, the infamous sword of beguiling bluff. Its edge is without compare. Come now, ready with me, and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage? Gah! Go on, Wright, Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right. But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then. Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. And why's that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab. But the moon rock was never found. How could I forget about that? A sad but true fact. We still haven't a grasp on how it was done. The Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet, a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. And it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? Must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think! How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? So, can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry, I mean, what? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene? I mean, I don't have a good one for 7 years ago, and that's currently my problem. So let's take a look at everything real quick. That's... museum, public every day, no. Crime scene 7 years ago was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. What was at the crime scene? Did you take my pictures away? God, I'm surprised that they still let me keep this and this. This case still has so much to it then. That's before the murder happened, because that's something Athena's mom gave her. What if he shoved it into the probe? That'd be very funny. Well, let's just throw it out there. That's where the moon rock was hidden? Yes, well, I thought it would be kind of cool if it was. I wasn't asking you what you thought would be cool. I was looking for a reasonable argument. Yeah, but what if I don't have one? So, let's see. The Phantom didn't have the rock on him when he left, and it wasn't found anywhere in the Space Center. So what happened to it? It's almost as if it disappeared off the face of the Earth. Off the face of the Earth? Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah.
Take that!
That's the Hope capsule, right? I figured it was either that or but it would have been really cool, like Phoenix said, if it was the probe. Anyway, the one that went up with the Hat 1 rocket? He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. So there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day. Yes. And the team must have loaded it into the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, how the hell did they notice the difference in weight? Then the moon rock would have been launched up into space along with a rocket. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. Which means the probe literally didn't get any new samples. It was out there in the depths of space. Aboard the Hope space probe. What? Everybody's shocked. I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat One anyway. The villain! He used his primary objective to conveniently kill two birds with one stone. That's right. He planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic space dust out in space. Cosmic dust out in space. Thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission and returned 7 years later. With a capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. And he's fine. So, he killed Clay just so he could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung on to that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh. You really do. Boy, he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit it? Why don't you just admit to all of it now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I'm not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes. A trap! Now I'm not sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, a trap is not out of the question.
Objection!
But in that case, you could say anything is a trap. That's what makes a trap. I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order.
Silence!
Further investigation? More like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell! Hey, you guys aren't really... Edgeworth, come on! Yeah! It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth! I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I have uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems. But none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. That's not good. But there's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'd best brace yourselves. Uh-oh. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then does this mean? Yes. The man there is an imposter pretending to be Yes. The man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. Imposter? Then this man is sus? Who in the world is he? Who in the world is he? Enough of your trickery. If you will not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you. What the? No! His face! Oh, look what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. What the fuck? Wait. But that's... There's no way that's right. Hey, Apollo? Yep, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck? That can't be right. Can't really be the Phantom, can you?
Silence.
Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat 1, which was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want!
Objection!
Not so fast. I have the Phantom Psych profile right here. If we compile a psych profile on you and compare the results, it will prove that you're the Phantom. He's doing it again! It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. No! He's gonna be Aristotle! Those words. Oh shit! No, not the gums! I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Professor Means? This is mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now give me that evidence. Athena? Huh? Time to take out the trash. Permanently. How could you? Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence.
How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face. But that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Well, perhaps it is really the case that you don't even know who you are. Or perhaps it really is the case that you don't even remember who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in a mirror, Mr. Phantom? An awful lot, I'd wager. Well, aren't you just the master of psychology, Blackwill? That's right. I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul, I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? And now we will resume your lesson, Professor Wright. Oh, huh? I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now, hold on. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope capsule. I think I'll do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your Fudge! It looks like you have finally caught on. Full marks for the defense. Full marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in that. But what a shame that your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Is the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? How dare you to continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
And the defense will continue to assert that you're the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, Wright Donor. No, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace: the moon rock. That was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. And yet, is this really gone without a trace? Is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity?
Take that!
Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom? And the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing. Specifically, right here. The 7K.
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the Hat won. Now, please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at the photo of the bomb mixing up words again. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my! Yes, I see it! It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible! A surprise to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright. Bailiff, contact the police department. Contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what did the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed... Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. It confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom. What? You're using his voice? Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? He's gonna be me! Holy shit! I was the killer! Why? It was a pretty good objection, too. Don't you think? Now he's me? So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright. Could this trial get any more insane? Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. How can you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. How do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove they're the moon rock, right?
Objection!
Don't be absurd! Just compare the fragments with the rock in the newspaper article. Anyone can see that they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be there. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago, I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times are when the lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We can ask an expert to verify if they were from the moon in the robotics lab or not. Oh. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are, you need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. That moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no! There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
What's with that fucking look, you guys? So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. Shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do. Even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. A piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left you with a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah! Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defense's sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
That's your sample? This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from the original moon rock. What? All this time? It was right here all along? No. It can't be. If the composition of the bombed fragments and the earring we found are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results showed that the blood on the fragment was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now, even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all of my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside of you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. And I suppose you do. I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me. Couldn't get over my trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I could collapse. I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. And that's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself. How can I run away from myself when there's nothing inside? Nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone as willing. I know it's hard for someone as oh my god, as willing? Unwilling. I know it's hard for someone as unwilling as you to and then I just stopped reading the rest of it. I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand. But people have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so, people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? I can't believe we saw Imposter Wright a second time. The fear inside me? Is this... No. Ah. Oh god. I'm afraid. I'm scared. Ah. I feel fear. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. My own true face? No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. My own true face! I don't have one! My face! My face! My face! Oh, hey, Ted. Oh, hey, whatever your name was. Is this my face? Is it? No. No, that's not it. No! This isn't me either. Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? Look at him go. Yo, he never whipped out Apollo. It's Apollo! I knew it! It was him all along! Gray Man! Ugh. Sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective Fulbright? I mean, his imposter doing? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence Wright submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' earrings and the fragment with the blood on it match. It can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There's still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Hold on, that could have been done much better. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But, before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty! Look at that. Smiles all around. Even he's smiling! Face forward this time! Yeah! Court is adjourned. Let's get the hell out of here, guys. Lobby number 4. Number 5, never mind. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls. And thank you for being there for Athena. It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Trucy, are you all right? Are you hurt? I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up. That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. There we go. Right. I fear I owe you yet another depth of gratitude. Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the ones who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. We never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that this key witness was... What the hell am I saying? It was your help as chief prosecutor that this... Oh my fucking god. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to its successful conclusion. There we go. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the Dark Age of the law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It wouldn't kill you. You could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It wouldn't kill you. Instead, the furrows in your brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. The complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Athena. Never mind. My bet was off! And Junie is not going to make a reappearance again. Athena. I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Just barely. But I still made it. Atta girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes. I survived by the skin of my teeth, thanks to you. Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. Huh? That's some loyalty. That guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, it looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss! What a team we are, huh? It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office is the best, most capable lawyers around. With superpowers, both of them. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Wright Anything Agency. Well, no one's going to try harder than me, so you'd better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many more people out there who need our help. You're right. And I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the dark age of the law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles! Huh? Nothing like a bowl of Eldoon's noodles after a trial. All on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works with the Wright Anything Agency. Right, Mr. Wright? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. Huh? I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman? Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Only if I get to join in. Hey, no fair. I want to say it too. Come on, Black will say it too. Okay. Here goes. Objection! I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now that he's back. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. You think I should have found him a few legal cases? Nah, that's okay. This is the Wright Anything Agency after all. Oh, I really enjoyed that game. It was much easier, but Athena and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says, eat lots of peppers and they'll ignite your passion. Oh, but I should figure out which to grow. Green peppers or yellow peppers? What about red peppers? Or maybe I should go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. Oh. But yeah, the game was a lot of fun. I really liked that last case. I love Full Wright so much, dude. Why does he have to be evil? Why does he also have to be dead? The end of the dark age of the law, you say? How naive. Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation. The chief prosecutor wants to see me. Oh, we'll see it, dude. But yeah, Athena, I think, oh god, all of her Moon Matrix segments were way too easy. I've been asked to debut as the Great Man. He's scheduled to go up against the Amazing Ninetales next, though. Oh, what to do? What to do? A fight to the finish with myself? Why didn't you ask Mr. Demon Lawyer to be the Amazing Ninetales too? That's not a bad idea. I'd bet he'd be all for it. Ka! So we are to meet as foes, are we, my little I'm too slow. My little friend? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought it said. Would you believe it? I'm Alderman of Ninetales Vale now. Pretty impressive, huh? I took it after Rex Cubic for the good of my beloved village. What do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out? Hey you! Hey you, what do you think you're doing sneaking around the manor? Nah, the jig is up! Better make a run for it! Better make a run for it! I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing an amazing job Athena did, I'm starting to become genuinely interested in the law, so I'm studying for the bar exam. I'm going to prosecute Athena someday. You'll see. I'm studying my buns off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm going to pass the Themis entrance exam on my own merit this time. With a score of 100 points, of course. You, Juniper, our dream will live on forever! I found really sweet boxes for all three of them, but they won't wear them. Is it because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge? But anyway, thanks for the trial. The school newspaper's future is bright as can be. Now let's see what fresh blood have to say in the new school paper. Our editor cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, her cardboard box got soggy. Graduation rehearsal, her box got soggy. There we go. The one night only reunion concert. I still remember that evening of passion. The president of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. When she's judging her own court someday, I'd love to have a jam session with her. It'd be the coolest trial ever, yeah? I can already hear it now. I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean it up the attitudes of the people in this office. With Mystic Maya due to come here once training is over, it simply must be done. I miss Maya. Ha ha ha! Humanity's dreams for outer space? I'm gonna, fuck it. I got startled. Who cares about Yuri Cosmos? What do you... Oh, director! Yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. You just leave everything to me. Assistant Director Yuri Cosmos. Congratulations on your Hat 3 rocket. And congratulations on your demotion. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Metis came to the moon, I would love to show them around. Which is more interesting? Mons? I'm not even gonna try. You think they would like either one? Yay! Hooray! I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again like you used to. Oh my god, he was into it. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! I'm going to the moon for real this time. For me and Clay. Thanks to my lawyers, I know I should never give up. But I'm worried. You can't breathe in space, and in fact, it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm getting really nervous. No, I'm not employed here. I simply came to request their services in defense of my sister. No one's around and I've been kept waiting for a long time. What sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him? Then perhaps he and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future. He and I will meet in a courtroom in the near future. And look forward to your next month's salary assessment. Please forgive me! Blackwell's acquittal has brought all manner of ills in the prosecutor's office to light. It would seem solving the case has thawed the chill of winter into the warmth of spring. Now I owe Wright yet another debt of gratitude, but I will repay him one day. You can trust in that. Oh, here we go. Finally. Yeah, holy shit, what a good cast. I really liked all of the recurring characters. I had worried it's about Athena, but she was charming. Definitely not my favorite character in this game, but I think one of the biggest issues was brought up previously that holy shit, she just gets sidelined all the time. She kind of just doesn't exist for half the game. In a game where, you know, she is the new attorney with the new gimmick. Was she, was there mood matrix in every case? I don't even remember. I think it wasn't in it wasn't in one of them for sure, but it may have been in two of them. I also think that it's very funny that Apollo Justice also gets sidelined super hard. Considering he was introduced last game and he's like another recurring character. It's fucked up that Blackwell doesn't let him do his focusing superpower for most of the game. So it's just, you know, it's there, but you're not allowed to use it. Look at all these familiar faces. Get your gums off of my screen. But yeah, really, really solid last case. I liked that a lot. It was very short, but I also, it was very short compared to other last cases because I think other ones, I went for similar amounts of time on each stream and went for like 3 days. But this one was, of course, only 2 days, about like 3 hours each, 4 hours each. But I don't mind that. I like having 2-day cases. And literally and like stream-wise 2-day cases as well. It's a lot more comfortable and it's a lot easier to keep things like over a single weekend that way. Look at that triple point. Powerful stuff. Font design by Fontworks Incorporated. Typefaces included here are solely developed by Cryware. Dynacomware. Why did I say Cryware? This isn't a Cryware game. Dynacomware. Capcom Company Limited.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift liftoff. Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine! Just believe in yourself!
The moon's closer than you think!
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
Ah, yeah!
All right!
Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. End. Yeah, holy shit, what a good case. Whole bunch of fun. I really like Dual Destinies. But we are not continuing on to Spirit of Justice, and that's also not happening this weekend. Because unfortunately this weekend is the demo period for Monster Hunter Wilds. And I'm going to be playing and streaming the hell out of that. So please look forward to it. The week after, we will continue on with Spirit of Justice, however. So I'll see you then.